a deal are these improvements?
I think the improvements aren't that big a deal, but what we know from Tesla is Tesla owners like the most expensive stuff. The cheaper version of the car barely sold, they got rid of it. This $70,000 version of the car comes with so few of the thrills that Tesla owners love that it's actually probably good news and a positive for Tesla, because this is probably going to lead to a higher revenue for their average sale. What's also interesting about this, if you look at Tesla's sales, their sequential growth in sales, it's very lumpy. Put another way, the introduction of their all-wheel drive led to a big one-time boost in sales. So what they've learned at Tesla is when they offer something new, their customers will pay up to get it.
0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds. Honestly, the thought of that scares me a little bit. But hey, it sounds pretty cool. James, do you think
it's not that different, though? Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, James, do you think this is actually going to move Tesla sales?
Yeah, look, I think what's important from a fundamental perspective here is that Tesla introduced now a battery chemistry improvement. So what they've been saying for the last several years is that every year we will have some percentage, 5 to 10% improvement in battery chemistry, which improves the range. I think what's maybe lost in all this is the 300-mile now reported range for the 90-kilowatt battery. Now, there's a 10% loss with the Model X being bigger, heavier. The fact that they're going to have an improved 90-kilowatt battery, that's going to help to offset some of that loss. So, we maybe now are more positive on a Model X range that's, comparable to an existing Model S. So I think underneath all of the sort of marketing around 2.8 seconds and 1.1 Gs is a slow and steady battery chemistry improvement, and I think that's the catalyst that we're most focused on.
The Model X, that's the SUV, the one for me. Elon Musk says this is going to be tailored towards female customers, Cory, if you're buying. But isn't it all about the cheapest model that comes out in a few years? Will that have a significant impact on sales? It's
not the chick car, it's the cheap car. Look, I think that the cheap car, I think that was a big part of this, right, is looking forward to that. Are they getting the economies that they can let them take a $70,000 car and somehow make it nearly as good for half the price, which is hard to imagine. But lost in all this is the slippage, if you will, of the time frame for the release in the Model 3. There was no real news about that. He suggested that it would be ready in 2 years. But what they've been saying over time has changed. In March of 2014, Musk told Auto Express UK the Model 3 would be due in 2017. By the next year, by the spring of the next year, he's saying the Model 3 will be the second half of 2017. Then in May, he says, I'd like to say mid, but probably closer to late 2017. And then in a slide from a Tesla CTO in a presentation with no announcement from the company, they said the Model 3 won't be in full production until 2018. So this car is slipping in terms of its production time, and maybe the incremental changes of battery chemistry and the incremental changes of a new spark plug to make it go really fast, really quickly, are not enough to get them to cut half the costs out of the thing so they can have a profitable car at $35,000. And that's why it's being pushed out.